In our next panel, we are going to be exploring how authentic storytelling can inspire positive change. And to tell us more, please welcome to the stage Yara Namla, founder and CEO of When Minds Meet, WMM Holding. Nada Baeshen, the entrepreneur and TV presenter, and Hala Abdallah, content creator and entrepreneur. And to moderate this panel, please welcome Joana Jamil, strategic partner, manager, global partnerships in the MENA region for Meta. Please welcome your speakers to the stage.
Oh my God, صوتي مرة عالي. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, working. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Forbes Middle East, Khulud, Nancy, for having us. We're very thrilled to be here. I work at Meta, right? So I work in social media, which is the mother platform for Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Threads. And today I'm delighted to be sitting in this amazing panel with three wonderful, inspiring Saudi women. We have Nada in here, who is an entrepreneur herself, but also a TV persona, a content creator. We have Yara, who started from a very young age as a content creator, and look at her today, one of the most aspiring entrepreneurs in the region, and Hala, who's also a content creator who started as well very young, and today she's a brand owner and entrepreneur. So the journey that these three women have is constantly growing and constantly evolving. So without further ado, I want to tap into the topic of passion. We keep hearing passion, passion, passion. Everyone is so passionate about this and that, but not everyone, Nada, has the ability to turn passion into a brand and later on make some income out of it. So let's talk about what led to the Nada phenomena today.
Well, thank you for saying that another phenomena. Thank you, but I don't think we're there yet. But passion is basically doing what you love, and but I cannot say that passion has been one field for me. I started my career in finance, as you know. So at the time, it was trending. And that was what I thought I was passionate about. And this is like in the early 2000s, like 2006 to 2000, and actually 14. So I spent around 10 years of my career in banking, which I thought at the time was my passion. While I was in banking, I actually opened a retail business because I love to dress up, and then I got into the retail field, which was a passion at the time. But as we get older, we evolve. So we start discovering different kinds of things that actually we are passionate about. So as we get older, we switch. I got into media, which is NBC, which was a platform that was given to me by actually Instagram. So I was found through Meta to be a TV host, which is something now I can say I'm also passionate about. So passion comes in stages at different parts of your career. I'm in media, I'm on Instagram, I opened a paddle court, I'm into sports, I'm passionate about that as well. So there's not one passion in my life. I think we find it in different stages, different, like, you know, there's a different era. And like for your, you know what I mean? So this is what I think. Like passion is not one thing. It's
the way we see it is that it starts with passion, and then it depends which direction you want to take it towards. And today we have, and this is an honest answer only, we have so many tools in our own hands that allows us to explore this further. But then I would say hard work, sa'i, and luck also plays a big part into our journeys. Yara, this journey of yours from starting at a very young age to where you are today, how did your hard work contribute to it? How did your support structure contribute to it? How did your country contribute to it?
First of all, thank you, Forbes, for having us. We're so glad to be with you, Joana. When I started in a very younger age, I was inspired by my mom and how she worked really hard on herself. So this is a thing in our family. Like, we're so business oriented. I wasn't forced. I really loved what my mom was doing. So when I started as a makeup artist, and then I started my platforms on Instagram to show my work, in makeup, beauty, inspiring lifestyle, I found myself um, inspiring younger generation, which this was my first ever message that I wanted to deliver to the generation. And to be honest, when I started to think of a business or to start something where people can share and relate to what I do and what I film, I thought of the vision of 2030. There's a diverse of projects, very inspiring and passionate projects where I think a lot of Saudi and non-Saudis are inspired by it. And they think that they would do something to be part of it. The diversity of the projects in the 2030 vision inspired me a lot to create a diverse lifestyle businesses, which is in food and beverage, wellness and hospitality, retail, e-commerce. So that's why I got so involved in it. And I feel myself more business-oriented and operationally kind of way.
I always say this, the difference between content creators and entrepreneurs, brand owners, founders, is that it's a reversed formula. When it comes to content creators, they start on social media, like the case of these three ladies, and then the community is ready to welcome whatever a business they have to launch, to welcome whatever service they have to offer. So the community is built. So Hala, I'll move on to you now. You started on social media, the journey started, I believe, on Instagram.
Yes.
And from there, how did you unfold the entire journey going towards your brand, your beautiful jewelry brand, Ofa?
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. First of all, it started as a coincidence because back when I started, there was no such a thing as an influencer. So I was just sharing my life, living in the States. I was not even thinking about coming back. I got a job there. I studied architecture. So that was not even in the horizon for me. And then I got offered a job on TV, actually, in a very big channel. And I came here to Dubai, actually, and the attention, the come here, do this, let's do this, and the collaboration, the spirit, the excitement that is in Saudi today, actually, was back then in Dubai. And that I felt that energy. I wanted to be a part of that energy, so I stayed. I changed all my plans, ditched my degree, and came and stayed here. That led me to a lot of knowing a lot of inspiring people, and I started making my own jewelry for myself because that's what I do, right? I'm a designer. So I started getting a lot of questions. I started getting a lot of people asking me about it. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, it's not a store, it's me. So that pushed me to start a jewelry brand, which was super intimidating for me back then. Maybe not today there's a lot of jewelry brands, but I'm happy to be, to start such a challenging business. I learned so much, failed so much, it made me who I am today. I always look back and I'm like, 5 years ago, if I didn't start OFA, I don't think I would be the same person today.
Wow, this is amazing. Let me tell you, when it comes to content creators and those who create content on social media, the industry of the creators economy, my job, your jobs, is new. Yeah. It's relatively new. No matter how much we think we know about it, we still don't know much. So having three women, Saudi women in here who are paving the way forward for the generation to come is insanely important because we don't know where we're headed in 5 years in time. So Nada, if I were to tell you today, what is the responsibility that you hold upon yourself for those who are watching you, for those who are inspired by you, and for the younger generation who is and will be looking up to you, what would be your three main advices that you would give them?
One is definitely be patient because nothing happens overnight. Like any success story doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes we really have impatience and we're just always struggling and we're looking around. Another thing is don't look at and compare to others. This is something I think a lot of women look around and like, look, she's doing that, why am I not? Actually, and my father used to always say, طالعي قدامك ما تطالعي حواليكي. Look ahead and don't look around you. And this is how you actually learn. Look at her, look at Yara as an inspiration. Look at Hala as an inspiration. Don't compare. Don't be envious. Learn how to see what they are actually doing and learn from it, and then you'll actually succeed. This is something that's very important.
Yeah, create your own story.
Create your own story. Don't copy, because a copycat everybody knows who's a copycat. Everybody can tell who's copying this person. When you're original, that shows. Another thing, a responsibility I have is since I got on MBC, it's a channel, obviously, I never thought I would be, I never thought I would be on TV. I never thought I would be on a live channel. I never thought I would be in media. When they called me and they told me to be on that channel, I told them it will not work. My Arabic is not the strongest. I'm too liberal. I'm not a media person. And it was, I just closed every door. And then I will not forget, this was Hadi Hajjar called me and he's like, try it out. You love doing these lives on Instagram during COVID and nobody was watching you as much as a TV channel. Who are you gonna get on the show? I was like, I like meeting doctors. And he's like, Neda, trust me. And I got on the show. But my responsibility on the show is actually having hard topics. So the first thing when I got on NBC, I told them, why do we always interview women? Why don't we have men? المرأة تحاور الرجل. Men, women speak to men. Women sit, like we're sitting now, we actually sit among each other. Why are we just always interviewing women? This was one. Two, talking about very hard topics like sexuality, like abuse. Things that usually are always taboo in this part of the world. It's like in this region, we always like to put a scotch tape and like we just don't share. Now we are 4 women on this platform today. We are also 4 women on the show. And each one of us comes from a different background and a different story and a different life. And we share real stories. And I am very open on the show. I don't just sugarcoat things. I am myself. And to be honest is actually when you get the audience to actually react. So also another thing is honesty and realness, because this really shows. This is another advice I give.
Wow, I love it. Yara,
Tell me.
بنت الرياض, I can say about you, صح?
Yes.
Yara, your presence in your country is, I witnessed it today and I'm mind blown. So I feel like with where the kingdom is headed, with the vision of 2030, with all the things unfolding and all the excitement and successes that we're seeing, every person who's contributing or who's from the city and the country has a responsibility upon them. So how do you see the Yara vision aligning with the country's vision?
See, I told you, to be honest, I think that the 2030 vision is very empowering for women and for everyone. It already supported us a lot with a lot of things, either for like young ladies, young men, younger generation, even who is still doing a lot of things now. Being part or trying to work to be part of the 2030 vision is something that we are doing today with effort and without, to just contribute with the vision. I think Saudi allows everyone to explore themselves, to find what they're passionate about. There's a lot of like diversity of projects, as I said, or like different opportunities, very big potential for everyone. They can find themselves here. And I think everyone should get involved with their own or with a business or whatever they're doing as a content creator or like normal.
And if I were to tell you what are the next 5 years for Yara, how do they look like? You don't need to spread it all.
Joana, 5 years ago, I never thought that my brand would go global at all.
Congratulations, by the way.
Big.
That's big. From the region to the world, from Saudi to the world.
From Saudi to UK, this is a milestone, and I've never thought of it. Even last year, it was like a vague idea. So it happened so fast. I think this point is it gives like hope and motivation for everyone. Or share their voice. We're sending a message. We're showing like the Saudi innovation. We're sending across the seas what's happening in Saudi, not just by having my brand there. It's more of contributing on our 2020, you know, to show the Saudi talent, to enhance what we are doing here in the region.
2024 was tough year. All sports, on all of us. I'll speak for myself. I needed to end. This year needs to end.
There's a lot happening.
to hopefully a better 2025. It's bittersweet. So challenges is something that we don't usually address. Even us, like I think as a woman, for some reason, or maybe the way I see it, we don't always address our challenges. We try to show up all the time, push through. So, Hala, 2 questions for you. One, how do you persevere against the challenges, social challenges, physical challenges, societal challenges, world challenges that are outside of our control? And what makes you push through?
Well, I think I'm used to challenges right now. I love them. Since I started the brand, I started by myself. I had no advisor. I had no partners. I'm the only owner of the brand. And I had to really sometimes guess, sometimes have to like fight extra. I had some problems that happened is because I didn't know better. And I had to learn it the more expensive way. And the jewelry business is not for the weak. It's an ever-changing market, and I just, I wouldn't do it any other way. I learned so much, and I can proudly say that because of these challenges, I can tomorrow start any other brand. No one I have hired in the company that I don't know how to do their job. I know how to do each one of them's job. So I feel confident in that, and every day I remember that I started alone, and that gives me the confidence and the strength to keep going and do more. And I'm starting to have fun with it, because I'm thinking to myself, like, in the next 10 years, if I look back, would I have rather look back and think, oh, I had a long vacation, or I did this and that and I failed and I met this person and I have a story to tell. I'm an interesting person to have a conversation with. For that purpose even, is actually it's a reason that motivates me every day to have more challenges, fail, embarrass myself, succeed, all these things. This is my story. This is what people are going to remember when I'm gone. And that's why I keep going, honestly.
How inspiring are these women, guys? How inspiring. Listen, I want to end it on a content note, because I'm biased. I work for a platform. I think content is king. No matter what, every business needs to create content. Every brand needs to create content. Doesn't matter which platform. Instagram is awesome, though. So if I were to say, as content creators now, not just entrepreneurs, because I think that's the engine of everything you're doing.
Of course, it's a big tool.
The most important tool. What are your content advice for our audience here today that you would leave them with? And it can be one advice from each one of you. And I can start from here. We'll move there.
Personally, I love stories. I really like showing my day-to-day on stories and being myself. Like, I'm not very minimal with stories. I share, I overshare. If I'm at an event like this, you'll see every story, meeting picture with everyone. Get the people watching you to be part of the event. And this is what works for me. And this is what engages my audience. Second of all, the videos. I used to always do very long videos. I could tell my life story on the video. 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds. It's simple. Keep it simple. Be you, be consistent. That's what really works, in my opinion. Thank you.
Yara.
I think it's super important to be yourself, because your audience relates to you. That's why you have this growth and they're following you. And from a business perspective, I would say to show something, to show like what you're providing in a very relatable way of how they're using it in their lifestyle, to be very, very authentic, and to share it in a very simple way. Not there's no so much effort, Just be yourself with your brand, with your personality, with what you do, and that's why they love you. That's why they follow you.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Key.
Yes. For me, I think the best tool for me is to be authentic, obviously, and share stories. Yeah, that's
I think
me.
Hala, her content is amazing when she shares some like storytelling on Instagram, and she like talks about her experiences. I really love it. I follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I were to add one more thing, showing up, right? showing up,
Yeah, of
constantly
course.
showing up, non-stop. It's sometimes very demotivating, but you've got to keep going.
Reminding them.
You've got to
I'm
keep
here.
going. Remind the algorithm that you exist. Ladies, it's been a pleasure. Forbes, thank you all so much. Thank you everyone for your time, and hopefully we'll see you later on outside. Thank you.
Thank you.